Hello, welcome to the MTD Supplier Portal training video. In this video, you will gain a basic understanding of how to use the Supplier Portal to create a ready-to-ship entry. After you log in, by default, you will be in the home screen. To get to the Shipping Schedule Portlet, click on Shipping along the top of your screen. In the Shipping Schedule Portlet, you will notice the Order Release tab, the Ready to Ship tab, and the Advanced Shipment Notices tab are all listed on the top. When you select a tab, it will be highlighted in dark green. In the Order Release training video, we talked about how to acknowledge releases in the status of New Release, Release Data, Changed, and Canceled. By accepting these changes or noting Follow-up Required, you will move a release forward in its life cycle. More specifically, after a new release is acknowledged, either accepted or marked as Follow-up Required, it is ready to ship. In the following session, we will teach you how to submit a ready-to-ship entry. What is a ready-to-ship entry? A ready-to-ship, RTS entry, is a notification from the supplier that they are ready to make an LTL or full truckload shipment to MTD, and MTD will make the freight arrangements. Before you begin, please check and assess if you're ready to move on to the next section. First, all releases must be acknowledged via Accepted or Follow-up Required within the Order Release tab. Secondly, since the ready-to-ship entry is specifically required for LTL or full truckload shipments in which MTD is managing the freight, suppliers who are making a parcel shipment or are managing their own freight are excluded from this process. For those situations, congratulations, you do not need to watch the remainder of this video and can go directly to the ASN creation. This leaves the rest of you who are preparing for an LTL or full truckload shipment to MTD. Let's begin. The layout of the Ready to Ship tab is similar to the Order Releases tab that we discussed before. In fact, it has similar functions as well. You can use the Ready to Ship tab to look up releases that you want to ship. By default, if you click the Search Releases Ready to be Shipped button on the bottom, you will see all open releases to all warehouses for all of your vendor numbers. If you prefer to search for a specific release or by a specific search category, you have the following options. On the left, you can search by supplier numbers, item, and due date. On the right, you can search by location or PO number. You will notice the release status is defined as Accepted Release, Partial, or Follow-up Required. This stays consistent with the requirement for the ready-to-ship entries. By clicking on the field Supplier Number, Due Date, or Location, you will see a drop-down menu. This pre-populated search option allows you to select multiple entries or filter for your result without typing in all of the information. The remaining fields, item and PO number, require you to key in the search information. At the bottom of the search section, there is a Search Releases Ready to be Shipped button. Click on this to see all acknowledged releases for all locations for all of your vendor numbers. To clear out any search results on your screen, you can click on the New Search button on the top right. There is also a Reset button on the bottom. Click on it to go back to the default setting. Now you should be able to use the Ready to Ship portlet to search for releases based on given information. Now let's do a quick exercise. In this example, we want to submit a ready-to-ship entry going to Willard. We will populate the location search field. First of all, we click Uncheck All to clear the selections. We then either filter or scroll down to find Willard on the list. Last, click the Search Releases Ready to be Shipped. Now the releases that meet your search criteria will populate in a separate window. After we conduct the search for releases, you need to let MTD know that these releases are ready to be shipped. For domestic shipments, this step should be completed at least 2 business days before the shipment needs to be picked up. The following section will guide you through the process step by step, continuing the example above. To solidify the releases you want to add to the Ready to Ship list, click on the checkbox on the left and click on Add Selected Items. If the list is long, you can sort the result by clicking on the field headers. You can also refine the search by item number or PO number on the top of the screen. The selected releases are then populated on a new screen. Within this new screen, you will complete information that prepares these releases to be submitted as Ready to Ship notification. The information you need to provide tells MTD what you will ship, where, and at what time. To be more specific, you need to complete the part information, ship from location, and shipment time information. The Ready to Ship part information includes quantity, lading quantity, weight, and volume. This information will always auto-populate to the quantity that is still open on that release. If you're shipping less than this quantity, simply override and key in the correct shipping quantity. If you have already uploaded your part information, it will automatically calculate the lading quantity, weight, and volume as seen above. If you notice an error with any of this data, you can overwrite the information by using the wrench to update the part information for that specific part number. If your part information does not exist, then you will need to manually key in the lading quantity, weight, and volume. However, you can enter your part information by using the wrench or through the Update Part Information Portlet. This will ensure that the next time you make a shipment for this specific part number, the lading quantity, weight, and volume will auto-populate. You have just completed the part information. Next, you need to select a Ship From location so that the truck knows where to pick up the shipment. Right next to the part information you just filled out, you will notice there is an orange globe. It means the shipment is not established. Remember that you have selected the Ship To location, Willard, but you haven't indicated where the shipment is coming from. To provide the missing information, click on the globe, and another screen will appear. On that screen, click on the radio button for the correct Ship From location, and then click on the Close button to close the window. You will then notice that the globe turns from orange to green. Now we are moving on to the last part. Next to the green globe, there are fields you need to fill in on the time information for shipment. They are Ready Date, Ready Time, Close Time, and Comment. Click on the Ready Date and a calendar will pop up. Click on the date that the product will be ready to pick up. The Ready Time is the earliest time the product will be ready for shipment, and the Close Time is the time when your shipping department closes. You need to key in the time in 24-hour military format. The Comment field is required. By clicking on the blue dialog bubble, you will see a second screen pop up. On the screen, select whether or not the freight is stackable by clicking on the drop-down menu. If you want to enter a comment in the open text field, this is optional, except for loose loads where a comment is mandatory. Click the Close button. After you close, you will note that the thought box will turn from blue in color to green. Lastly, the red X sign should only be used if you want to remove Ready to Ship entries. Now, all of the fields for the first release have been populated. On top of the screen, you will find the Copy button for the fields that are not part-specific. If your information is the same for all releases on this shipment, click the Copy button to quickly fill in the same response throughout all records. After all the fields have been populated, you are now ready to submit your RTS entry. Don't forget to double-check for accuracy. Once ready, click the Submit to TMS button. A summary screen will pop up indicating that the RTS entry has been successfully submitted. At this point, the information has been submitted to MTD's Transportation Management System, and the MTD Logistics Group is now working on tendering the load. You will be notified when the load has been tendered, and you will need to complete the steps of ASN creation at the time of shipment. Please refer to the ASN training video regarding the steps to create the ASN. This concludes the training.